You know, being seen is the only road to a real deep and abiding relationship. So the boundaries you set in dating are key to making sure that you and your partner are set up for success. So keep watching for ways to get clear about what you want in dating and how to find the people that you want to meet. People are craving authentic connection, right? That's what we want. In fact, Brene Brown talks about this a lot. I love what she says. She says, everyone loves vulnerability and authenticity, but we don't want to do it ourselves because it's scary. And it's true. But if you will face that fear and walk through it, then you can actually meet people that will see you and love you and engage with you. And when I first started dating, when I left my marriage, I remember I met a girl that I really liked. I thought she was great. And I was getting a lot of mixed signals from her. And I couldn't figure out. I was like, does she like me? Does she not like me? Back and forth, right? And I just thought, you know what? I'm going to be authentic about this. I'm showing up. I'm being real. I'm letting her see who I am. And she seems to be showing up too. And it was kind of cool. And so I just said, hey, you know what? I really like you. I'd like to see if we can kind of pursue something more. And I said, I'm getting mixed signals from you. So I don't know where I stand. So I'd just like to know. Because honestly, whatever happens, I think you're cool. We'll still be friends. So I took the pressure off of her, right? I'm not trying to force her into anything. And she looks at me and she says, do you really want to know? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, well, I know I should like you, but I don't want to like somebody else. And I was like, oh, okay. A little bit of stab, right? Nobody likes to hear that. But it wasn't like a deep, horrible thing because it was early on. I was like, whatever, right? There's lots of people that could like me or not like me. But now I know where I stand. She likes somebody else. That makes sense, right? You can have an attraction to somebody while you like somebody else, but you're really into somebody else. And that made it clear for me. And then she said, do you want to know who it is? And I said, yeah, I do. And when she told me who it was, it cleared up everything for me. Because what she was really after and what she was looking for was nothing like me. You know, it was literally like the opposite of me. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, that makes so much sense, right? That's the type of thing you need and you want and you're liking. Good. Like, he's a great guy. That's cool. That's not me. And that made it so easy. And our friendship remains. We're still good friends. And that authenticity was what allowed us to get to the truth faster and for us to differentiate that, right? And so the truth, the authentic behavior is what really kind of changes everything. So let me know in the comments below what role authenticity has played in your relationships. I'd love to hear that. So really, there's a way of getting to this, right? If you want to really have good boundaries and be authentic, these are some of the things that you can do. The first thing is honesty and authenticity. It's so important. It's a process that you have to give time to, right? 1 to 2 years. You cannot find out if someone is being authentic and honest with you in less time than that. You've got to see the whole gamut of their life over a period. And researchers have identified that at least 1 year is required for you to see the whole process of that spectrum. You know, I got married in less than a year. From the time I met her to the time I got married was less than a year. And obviously, it didn't work because now I'm divorced. And I always look at that and I think, if I'd have given it the time, I'd have been fine, right? Later in this video, I'm going to tell you what to do when you accidentally and instinctively lie and the right way to go about correcting that, because we all end up lying at some point, right? Authenticity is not about never lying. It's about correcting it quickly when you do. Stick around for that. The second thing that you want to do is you want to look that person in the eyes when you're telling them your biggest truths. When you're about to be vulnerable and you're about to be authentic, like you need to be, you look that person in the eyes and you watch for their response. If you see a critical view, and specifically if you see contempt rise in their eyes for you, this is something to be deeply concerned about. You're being authentic and they're showing contempt. John Gottman has identified contempt, one of the 4 horsemen in a relationship that will end it, as a 95% indicator of the end of a relationship. It will not last if there's contempt there. So if you're seeing contempt when you're being authentic, this is not somebody for you. Don't waste your time on somebody that sees you with contempt. Step away. The third thing, love. You need to know them. We kind of touched this already, right? You need to know somebody for at least a year. It's a boundary you got to set. Don't escalate into a deep, long-lasting relationship before a year. It doesn't mean you can't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, but don't move in with that person. Don't get married to that person. Don't make a commitment of a level that you don't feel like you can step away from easily until you've known them through a period of at least 1 year. This is research that has really proven that if you will wait and allow this relationship to build through that time period, you'll get to see them in the whole gamut of their life, the ups and downs, and you'll be able to know, I've seen you at your worst, I've seen you at your best, and I still like you. And then you can start to escalate, right? And that is something that if you do, it'll eliminate a lot of things, right? And by the way, I talk a lot about authenticity in relationships on this channel. So if this is something you're into, do me a favor. Subscribe. I don't want you to miss any of the videos. I'd love your support. Let me know if I'm doing all right. The fourth thing that you want to do is you want to consider these watershed moments. What I was talking about with the authenticity. There are watershed moments when the person you're with is going to, I call them watershed moments, when the person you're with is going to ask you a question. And you may, in that moment when you hear that question, know in your heart, if I answer this honestly, I might lose them. Or, if I lie, if I don't tell the full truth, if I withhold, they'll still be okay with me. These are the watershed moments you want to embrace. Go through the door of honesty in this moment, and you will begin to find the person that is meant to be with you. If you have the courage to do it, when they ask that uncomfortable question, the best response is the honest response, I promise you. And then you get to look in their eyes, like I said, and you can see, is there contempt there? Is there dismissiveness? What are they doing when they see me? This changes everything. The fifth thing, if you fail on that watershed moment, this is what I was talking about earlier, right? If you lie in that moment when the hard question comes, give yourself a moment of grace. You just lied. You just told this person the thing they wanted to hear so that you could maybe get lucky that night or whatever the situation was, right? Now you got to tell them the truth. Give yourself 24 hours at the most before you come back, right? You can tell them right away too. But I've learned to do this because I sometimes fail to meet the challenge. I've been asked questions where I'm just like, frankly, I just don't feel like I can answer this right now, you know? That's the best avenue to take if you can remember, is to say, you know what, I can't answer this right now. Can we come back to this later? That's okay. But if you lie, tell them within 24 hours. Call them up and you can say, you know what I told you last night is not true. I need to tell you what is really true. Or I'm not ready to tell you that truth. We can set a time when I am, right? Move through that, be real, show up. This shows real courage, real strength. And if they can't accept that from you, you don't want to be with them. Finally, if you can't be vulnerable, if you can't be authentic with this person, if you're unable to meet these challenges of authenticity and talk to this person and feel comfortable, this is not a person for you. That person that is with you will allow you to settle into being who you truly are. It is home. You should be able to be in a space where you get to do whatever the hell you want and you're loved, right? You can fart, you can burp, you can tell dumb jokes, you can do whatever, and that person's still gonna love you. Now, they may think that your farts are disgusting, but they still love you, right? That is what you gotta be. You gotta be utterly vulnerable and authentic and know that you're safe with them. That's real love. If you like this, stick around, I got another video coming up. How to not self-sabotage a healthy relationship. I'm James Burnham. Thanks for joining me.